Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you made your way back here. Control. Are you a control freak? I know that sounds like a very negative term, but the reality is I think we all have a little bit of control freak in us. A little desire to just want to get everything the way we want it to go. I remember a few years ago, I'd never played a full game of golf, but I went out with this friend. We went to the driving range. And I'm sitting there looking, you got this little ball and you got these sticks. And I never really understood the game of golf, but I'm like, I'm about to show this guy I'm going with, yo, I'm a natural at this. I never played, but I felt like I was going to be a natural. So we get up, he puts the ball on the tee. And I'm like, okay, I see him hit it. Boy, he hit that ball far. And I'm like, I'm about to rock this ball even farther, my man. And so we get there, get to the line. I swung and I missed. And I'm like, okay, pride got a little hit, but that's okay. We're going to get there and hit this ball. And boy, I gave that ball everything I had. I lined up and I said, pow! I hit that ball and I gave it a lot. But that ball probably only went about 10 feet, 10 yards or whatever in front of me. And man, I think he was laughing. I can't remember, but I was so shocked that the fact that I literally gave that ball everything and it literally just dropped almost literally in front of me. And I was just like, what in the world is this thing? And so after that, he was kind enough to kind of show me how to stand and position myself. And I literally felt like, one of them little toy soldiers of the Nutcracker. And I was like, I was all awkward and my body was twisted. And he said, hey, try it now. And I did what he said. And let me tell you, when I hit that ball, oh my gosh, that thing flew. It didn't feel right at first, but boy, the technique that he told me, it worked to a T. And I was like, wow, man, that's crazy. I didn't think it was going to do it, but it did it. And it got me thinking about a lot of other places where I want to do so well and I want everything to turn out the way I want it to, that I try to hold so tight and control every aspect when sometimes I just need a little bit of tweaking. And for me, that tweaking is sometimes I got to learn how to go with the flow. I feel like we fight things so much because we want life to be the way we want it to. And it's okay to have goals. It's okay to have dreams and a vision. But what I'm finding out as I look back on my life is rarely does life ever have the same outcome that you envision. You may get to the end goal that you want, but the way you go about doing it sometimes is a lot different. And when we don't accept that, we're not congruent with what real life has given us. Because the reality is there's a lot of things out of our control. I look at that golf and swinging at the driving range. I thought I had the control because of my strength and I played sports and everything else. But what I learned is my technique was more important than my strength. And what I'm looking at my life now is a lot of times I get frustrated is because I want things to be the way I want them to be. And I'm going to do everything and I'm trying to outthink everybody and think 10 steps ahead. And sometimes it literally just comes down to just letting go and going with the flow. I want to do life well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we just have to recognize you got to do your part and let things happen as they will. Because the reality is you really don't control as much as you think. All of us are going to have one day where people are going to gather around and tell stories about how good we were, and we're going to pass on to the next life, which is what I believe. But until that time comes, I think part of this experience is stepping out, trying different things, but also recognizing there's a lot of things out of our control. And the more we sweat it, the more we try to control it, the more we're really fighting against ourselves. So I believe the sweet spot is get out there, do some things, enjoy this experience called life. And it's okay to take ownership. It's okay to be a professional, but not to the point where it drives you mad and it drives you crazy, where you can no longer see clearly because you want everything to be perfect. That's just not real life. Real life is messy. Real life is spontaneous. And real life sometimes surprises us. And I think that's the joy of it. going along, being in flow of life and seeing what happens. You do your part, life will give you the feedback, but you got to keep moving. Once again, I appreciate you visiting. Please hit the like and subscribe button so I can continue to put out videos and then hopefully inspire the world through positivity, and we could explore this journey of life together. Ways of Hope.